Hello everyone, Jake Hizzett here, CEO of Stob.ai. Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got an awesome video lined up. I'm going to show you exactly how you can make a lead funnel that generates hundreds of leads for your business. Now, we use this exact funnel in our business and for our clients' businesses, and we're easily surpassing over 50 leads for high ticket items every month. At Stob.ai, we probably make about 120 leads organically from this exact system. It's very low cost to implement, but the effects are absolutely outstanding. And we're going to jump into why it generates those effects so easily and helps us generate lots of leads that we use to drive our business. As always, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you find this content useful, and jump on our community. I'll leave a link in the description below this video. You're more than welcome there, and you can follow the journey. I'm going to show you step by step how you can implement this exact solution into your business or for your clients. Let's get into it. This is the system I'm going to show you how to build today. We're going to focus on the lead categorization, an automated email system, and a draft reply system. Okay, so we actually automate the lead intake for Apollo and LinkedIn. However, today I'm not going to show you that part of the system. Many people out there already know how to automate LinkedIn, and there are videos on it. So today what I'm going to show you is, once those leads come in, how do we categorize them and make sure that we can get a very high conversion rate using automated tactics. So in the lead categorization, we're going to scrape information about those different personas so we can target them with an email that knows about them. The email is going to feel very personalized. It's going to feel like you read their website, you've reached out to them for a very specific reason, and it will help convert because they're going to feel connected. The final section is how to create an automated draft response. And now we can do this in Outlook and we can use it in Gmail. There's two different routes. I'll quickly jump into how that's done today. And I'll also show you some examples of the kind of emails that our system writes. The business that we're helping today is Face Bangkok. It's a community of investors and startups. So if you're a startup looking for investment and you visit in Asia, do check them out. They run events in Bali and all over Thailand. So we're going to help them today by setting up a lead funnel. Now, I've already built this. I'm not going to be doing a build out today. I will show you step by step how to build the system. So you can see here, there's a bunch of leads. I have removed the email addresses for obvious reasons. Now, what is interesting is that this audience segment is actually divided by the type of people that we're reaching out to. Okay, so we've got the VCs and the angel investors, the CEOs and the founders, and every single one of these has a different email template that is installed in it. So how does this work? Well, firstly, the lead comes in and it's databased, then it's sorted by the AI into one of these categories. Okay, so the AI is reading their job title and then the website, and it's deciding which category it should go in. Now we're managing to view this through an analytics dashboard. So you can see here, we've got some that are empty: CEOs, founders, venture capitalists, and angel investors, with specific sales messages for those. So when a lead comes in, it's automatically categorized by the machine, and then we automatically write an email that is specific to that audience segment. So I'm just going to jump into here. This is the Face client. You can see this is just one of my make.com accounts, and we can see there's the different emails here. So the first one that we're going to look at is the categorizer. So how are we categorizing the different people when they come into our machine? So this is how we're doing it. Firstly, the lead is pulled into Airtable. So we're moving it from Google Sheets. The leads from the Google Sheets come from all over. They can come from Apollo. They can come from LinkedIn. Right now we're starting on LinkedIn, and then we're migrating those over to Airtable. So you can see here the Google Sheet. It comes in, and then the lead is categorized into the Airtable here. And then from there, we have it in the Airtable. This is happening in an instant. So we watch the records in Airtable. So we've got the base, we've got the table. So the table that we're referring to is the leads table. So on Airtable, it would look a little bit like this. So you set it up like so. We've got lead number, which is an auto number here. We've got the first name, last name, job title, company, website, LinkedIn URL, and the audience segment. And this is what we're going to look at doing today. So we're going to look at how we're auto categorizing these leads. Okay, so it comes into the Airtable. The trigger is that it's created. Now to set this trigger, you need a creation date. So in the Airtable, you must make sure that you have a creation date. If you have a creation date, you can then set this on Airtable as the trigger field. So if we just look here, we've got the table, the triggered field is created, and the label field is the email segment. So this is what we're looking for. Once that lead comes in, we then going to get the record ID. So to do this, we've got the watch the base, the table is the leads, and the record ID is being pulled from the Airtable. We then use an array aggregator to separate that out, and we can see here all the different things that we can pull in. But right now we only need the lead, and then we've set up a filter. And this filter is that the audience segment does not exist. Now the reason why we have set it does not exist is because if we need to run this again, we don't want to have to run it from the bottom to the top. So if the audience segment label exists, then we don't want to run it. So we've got our audience segments here, which was the CEO, founder, venture capitalist, and angel investor, which lines up with those emails that we've got in here. Now, the good thing for our client is that if we view this on the dashboard, like so, it's very easy for our client to be able to adjust the sales messages. Okay, so they can come in here and adjust the sales message. Now that'll be important later on when I show you how we write the email, but for now we want to filter out those leads that have not been categorized. We then look for the pattern. This is just the pattern to scrape the website. So we can say if they don't have a website in the database, then you can categorize them through this route, through this other route here. The bottom one is the website does not exist. So if there's no website information for us to be able to scrape, to understand what category of person we want to categorize these into, then we simply just ask ChatGPT to make an assumption based upon their company, based upon their job title. Now, the way that we've done this, if we look in this GPT module, is to say, based upon their job title and company, you are to categorize these people into either the CEO, venture capitalist, founder, or angel investor. And these are the rules. You must not create new entries, meaning if the module starts to say finance director, then we're going to have a problem. So we want it to choose only one of these options. Right. If they do have a website, that enables us to be very specific. So what we've done here with this module is we're finding their website. Okay. So if we find the pattern, it passes it along, and we know they've either got no website or a website. So if they've got a website, we're matching the website address, and we're sending that URL here, as you can see, straight over to the HTTP module. So the HTTP module, like with all these modules, you can find them in the bottom. And this one here is to make a request. So you make that request to their website, and then you pass out the text with a text parser. So you can come to the text parse module down here, and you convert the HTML to text, and you just drop it in like so. And you want the data from the previous module to pass that out. Okay, now from there, we want to get the information from the website into the GPT module. So we can see here, similar setup. You are an assistant in the business, and your job is to determine which category of persona a profile belongs to based upon their job title, company, information from their website. And like we had before, we have website information added, but we still got job title and company, and we want to categorize them into one of these rules. Okay, from there, we upload it back to the Airtable. So we get the record ID from the record where it's come from, which is from this aggregator, and we pop it in here, and we're going to update the email audience segment. So if we just jump back into the table, you'll be able to see in the leads database that we are here, able to see which segment of email they're going to get. Now, these segments of emails are the different personas that we've got, and we actually share one here. So we've got 3 emails in our flow. Okay, so we're going to give this a quick play. I've just removed Stephanie's account, so this one should work. So let's just jump in here, choose manually where to start, and see what happens. Okay, so you can see it's very quick. It's scraping the website. We can see who this is. Yeah, it's the right one. And there we go. We've got the lead in here. So let's just take a look. So we can see Associate Vice President of Institutional Sales. Lead sources from the LinkedIn campaign. And I'll have to blur out the email. And you can see there that that's how we've categorized it. So when we jump back onto here, we can see that it has been sorted into venture capitalists. Now, because we've got a few missing entries, we can actually run this again, and we'll actually fill out some of the entries in here. So that's how we categorize a lead with AI. So after we've categorized them, the next thing that we need to do for our client is send them an email. So we've categorized them into one of these 3 audience segments, slightly different for each one. They all pertain to the target audience, giving them different offers and deals for this new community membership that Face Bangkok are building. Okay, so after we've categorized them, we want to send them an email. Each one of these rows corresponds to one of these emails, okay, or target audience segments. Now, there may be 3 different ones. If we want to offer more precision and more details to these audiences, making it even more targeted so that venture capitalists and angel investors are separated, we can do that. But I'll very quickly explain how this works, okay? So once the category has been filled, or actually in this case once a week, it will draft a series of emails into the Gmail inbox of the CEO of Face, which is a lady called Poe. And she'll be able to send off these emails to every single one of her clients with hyper precision, knowing that these emails have been personalized to the target audience. Now, the way that we're doing that is in this automation section here. So if you've watched my previous videos, particularly how to build the agency app, you will have come across this, but I'm going to quickly show you how it's done. So we can see here, once every day is going to look for audience where the segments has any of the following, which means it's been categorized by our machine. So if the data has been categorized, such as here, and we just pick one, then it will send that to a webhook, and the webhook is on make.com. Now, the way that we do that is we say at a time when the conditions of the segment have been filled, create an email. Okay, so we want to send this data to the webhook. So if you go here and you see this script, I'll just leave it on the screen right there. You can pause the video and just copy and paste this. I'm actually being a little bit lazy here with blog ID. As I've copied this over, I will probably change it. It doesn't really matter. It's just a way to name it. Okay, what's important is that we're sending the record over. Okay, so once we've got that, we can actually finish and you can test it. So we can test this automation here. We test the action and we should see that record that we just recently changed come through, and there it is. Okay, so we can actually see that there's a record and that it works. Now, there are actually a lot of records in this machine, and if I run it, we'll be able to see that it will write an email to one of the categories. So let me talk about this. So when we've run this automation, you'll see that it picks up several different emails and it starts writing them. It's actually tested it here first, and we know that this person is one of the following. So it's a CEO, okay, that we've written this email to. Okay, so when the lead comes in, when the script sends the information to this webhook, it will tell us the record ID. From there, we want to get that record from the Airtable. So we just enter in the record ID here, and then we use the array to break down who that person is. So we can see here that this person is Sabrina Chung, and she is part of law.asia. So it sent it to the CEO, and the reason it sent it to the CEO is because Laura will be categorized in the audience segment as a CEO. So the filter here is, if this audience segment contains CEO, use this route. Now, because there's a website available, the website exists, then it's actually picked the top route. So what it's doing here is it's finding this text. So if we look on the database, we can actually see, for whatever reason, that these websites are formatted incorrectly. Now, the way to overcome that is to use this match elements text parser. So if you just press match elements here, you connect it in, and the pattern that you're looking for is a HTTP address. And if you click HTTP address, you'll be able to filter it out, and it will look a little bit like this. So you want to drop in the website that that person is searching for. So in this case, it will be the website will be web http:/Asia. If we didn't pass out this text and clean that URL, then we wouldn't be able to make this server request with the HTTP module, which is a simple make a request to the server. So we make the request to the server, we download the data from this URL, we then change that into text to reduce the amount of tokens that we need in ChatGPT. And then you'll see in this module here, we have the context. So in the system, we're telling it, you are now the email assistant for Po I, who is the CEO, the founder of Founders and Creatives, and Kickoff Marketing, which is her marketing agency. And we can see what the platform is, what it does, and we've briefed the machine very nicely. Be professional, emphasize value, keep it concise, etc. Now down below, we can also see improve and personalize the example email template, okay? And below, we've got the email template. So here, before this automation runs, we've used the search module in Airtable to pick out the variant of the sales message, okay? So if we just go in here, we search the record ID, and we want to find the variant. And that means that we look for variations on the sales message. We click CEO, we press OK. Now that's going to make sure that every time Po, as the founder of this awesome organization, updates the email template in her interface here in the sales messages for the CEOs, this template will change in the automation. So that's what's so fantastic about automating it yourself instead of using one of these tools, is it puts the client or you into the driver's seat. It's really useful for our clients because they now have full control over the machine. They're not relying on the agency to tweak the sales message. If they don't like it, they don't even have to ask anybody. They just log on to the dashboard and they can change it themselves. So it's personalizing this email to this person based upon the template, but is adding in information from their company website and their job title to the person. So what does that look like? Let me show you an example here. So if we just click in the message body, we'll be able to see the exact content that it's written. So it says, "Hey Sabrina, I wanted to personally invite you to join FACE as one of our founding members." Now this is where it gets interesting. "Given your role as event producer and project manager at Law.Asia, I believe your expertise in orchestrating impactful events and managing projects would offer immense value to our community of founders, business owners, and investors." Now, it's done that because it knows exactly what this person's business does. Now, it goes on to say that we're really interested in dedicating time to build real connections, fostering meaningful support, and creating opportunities for everybody. This is a little bit different from the original message template, okay? So it's personalized that to the client. By scraping their website, it knows what they do, it knows they're in law, and it will customize that email to them. Now, the way that it's set up here is the more it has in common with the organization that we're trying to run. So as an example, if they're a founder or an investor, the more accurate and the more personalized that email will be. So these emails, every single one of them is scheduled as a draft. Now I'm just going to quickly show you what that looks like. Inside the inbox here, as you can see here, there's a lot of different emails. Some of them are even more personalized than the ones that we've just seen. And we can see here it's immensely powerful because what it's doing is it's picking out what these people are interested in. So we can see here inviting them to be founder members. As we get this community off the ground, I immediately thought of you and the valuable perspective you'd bring to a network of founders, business owners, and VCs. Your expertise as a senior finance manager at Trilogy, where you play a key role in driving efficiency and profitability for software companies, aligns perfectly with our mission to empower emerging entrepreneurs and foster growth. That is just like amazing. Can you imagine the conversion rate on these emails when you see that? It feels like it's for you. It knows what their business does. Conversion rate for those where it nails it is absolutely awesome. And here's the other thing as well. You're not just firing off like random emails. These are highly customized, highly personalized, and we've actually got 400 in the queue for Poe right now. So again, the scale is phenomenal. The final piece of the puzzle is the draft email responder. Now it gets slightly different here because there's actually a different flow on Outlook as there is to Gmail. Now I covered Outlook in another video, so if you use Microsoft and Outlook, click up in the pop-out banner, I'll link it above, and that's how you can finish this part of the automation. So let's get into how we do that on Gmail. Lots of people have been asking me. So at this point, I just want to shout out M Square Pro, who are the Make.com partner that actually make this automation possible. So you can see here, you've got Gmail and Gmail S1.1. That's the module that you're going to need. Okay, so what we're doing here, we're watching for email events coming through Poe's inbox, okay? At the moment, we're not sorting them. Any email Poe gets, we're drafting a response to. We then get the email ID here, utilizing this connection, And then we go to the managed assistant and we're sending the information over to the ChatGPT playground. So you can see here we've got Pose Assistant, and we've set that up in the ChatGPT playground over here where we've created a bot. If you don't know how to do that, go to OpenAI and go to the platform.openai.com/playground and then click assistants on the left, and you can create one too. So the email instructions, the instructions for how Pose personal assistant emailer drafter is going to work. You are now an email assistant for POI, the founder of Founders and Creative Entrepreneurs and Kickoff Marketing. Okay, so we set the scene. The email drafter knows what it does. It knows the key details about what Pose businesses do. So Face for the founders and investors, and Kickoff Marketing, which is an agency for small, medium-sized businesses. Okay, so we've got the guidelines for the response. And as you already know, if you're a key watcher of my videos, we want that in HTML, and we need to remove this annoying thing that ChatGPT does. I've just noticed that this is in the wrong place, so I'm just gonna move that over there. So remove this feature from the output, and then we hit save, and we jump back into the automation. We then go to this final module for the M2 Pro, and we just click here, and we can put the Gmail address, which we're grabbing from the Gmail ID in here. So you just want to come here, search in Gmail, and you can see here, you've got the ID from the actual Google module, and then the subject line we have also got. So this is because it's a response. We just take the subject line and the email like it was before. We don't need to add or change anything, okay? So it's the same email as the sender, same message ID, and we don't need a subject line. The result that we've put in here is the result from the ChatGPT module. So then the content comes out in HTML, and it's drafted and set as a reply. So to demonstrate this, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go to my Gmail, and I'm going to send a email to Poe. So I'll just put here, let's say meeting at 9 p.m. Let's meet later on to go to the Swiss Chamber of Commerce, which is actually what we are doing later on tonight. And then I can just put here, hi Poe, lowercase, and then kind regards, Jake. Okay, I could even throw in one of my signatures. Let's put the Stop AI one today. Okay, cool. I press send, and that's gone to Poe's inbox. Now, I know that if I run this, because I've just emailed Poe, it will pick up my email. So we can see here, please be from me. Yeah, see, that's from me here. So we can see the email. It's been grabbed, that email address here. So we've got the ID if we need it. Then we've gone to the ChatGPT assistant. You can see right now it's sent it back. And there we go. It's drafted it as a response. So if I just switch screen here, and then I give this one a quick refresh. So you can see here immediately there's a draft response sat in Poe's inbox waiting for me. Hi Jake, thanks for reaching out. I'm looking forward to meeting later at the Swiss Chamber of Commerce. Please let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to discuss during our time together. Kind regards, Poe I, founder of Face. Just before we wrap up the video today, I want to show you another example that we're building out for a company in the UK, Wolfpad Gaming. If you're a brand out there and you want to get involved in gaming, check out Wolfpad. They're absolutely class. They're based in the UK. In the UK, as we know, there's strict regulation about emailing. So the system that we set up for Craig, who doesn't automatically draft an email. In Craig's situation, we're reaching out to these people on LinkedIn. He's contacting them. When they go from contacted to qualified, and this segment is full here, that's when it will draft an email. And if that lead responds, there's an automatic reply that's drafted ready for him. Okay, so that's how we build an automated sales system for our clients. So there's a lot of lead gen agencies out there. They just focus on either email or LinkedIn. What we're doing is we're integrating the entire process from start to finish. So we do your inbound, we get scraping all the data, we collect leads from your website. We then categorize them into different segments with personalized and targeted emails, which are going to have a massively improved conversion rate, making sure that you can close leads super fast all the time. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Jump on the school community. There's loads more information over there. If you have any questions, reach out to me or anybody in the community. It's super happy, super friendly, and it's a good time in there, so do join. As always, have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video.